I am happy to tell you, my loyal viewers, that at long last, the SEC versus Ripple case has settled. Now, excuse me, I have to catch a shuttle back to the moon in time for dinner. Boy, I'm glad I'm done doing these videos.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. As there we had a humorous introduction of Jeremy Hogan as an old man in 2050, saying the XRP case is finally over. It really feels like a long time. It really feels like they're dragging this out. It really feels like the XRP community and Ripple specifically were targeted because their role in the global financial system is going to be so important that they had to slow Ripple down. I've seen Swift and Goldman Sachs both come out with their own XRP alternatives. And here, today, we might have just had the biggest one of them all. The IMF just unveiled their own global currency unit, known as the Universal Monetary Unit, and this is a genuine competitor to XRP. The Universal Monetary Unit, also known as Unicoin, is an interbank central bank digital currency. This international CBDC has been designed to work in conjunction with all existing national currencies. This should set off alarm bells for all of us because the widespread adoption of a global currency would be a giant step forward for this new world order. Apparently, this new universal monetary unit was created by the Digital Currency Monetary Authority. And as far as who the DCMA is, they're an organization of sovereign states, central banks, commercial and retail banks, and other financial institutions. Now, ladies and gentlemen, why do I bring this up? And why did the title of this video sound like XRP could be replaced? Ladies and gentlemen, these supranational organizations and legacy financial institutions are trying out their own technology first. This is the copycat stage for them. This is where we see whether or not XRP's technology, being a neutral bridge asset, will be adopted, or whether the legacy institutions are going to use their own thing. I'm placing my bets that XRP ends up playing a pivotal role down the road, as Ripple is the only crypto company with extensive connections to the IMF. Right now is the IMF's trial phase with their own currency. But something tells me down the road XRP will be the one that's chosen by the planet. XRP is an independent digital asset. XRP doesn't need an institution. And I think that's why we're gonna win. In addition, David Schwartz always points this out. This is XRP's real use case that we need to focus on as the XRP community in the immediate future, before we can act as a currency for the entire planet. This is something I want all of you to recognize, because the speculation needs to start with real world use case.
Payments are a multi-trillion-dollar problem, and it seems like cryptocurrencies are just naturally suited to make payments better. And specifically, we kind of focused on cross-border international payments, not because domestic payments are great, but because cross-border payments are the worst. Like anyone who's made an international payment probably has stories of bad experiences. And so the worse the thing you start with, the less amazing you have to be better. And I think we can eventually be amazing and sort of take over the payments world, but we're not going to be there day one. And so if we can't succeed against the worst part of the problem, why are we bothering? And so that was kind of the very earliest focus. And I think that kind of matured between 2011 and 2014, this kind of focus of like, we really need to solve payments. And if you think about any other use case, you think about an NFT. Well, I want to buy it and I want to sell it. Think about a loan. Well, I want to pay the loan back. And I want to get paid like the amount of money I borrowed. Like all of these other use cases need great payments. And so we just sort of laser focused in on payments.
And ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. that is so important. Ripple aimed to solve the absolute biggest problem, making international payments frictionless with minimum fees. This is a massive problem that plenty of entrepreneurs and businesses know and encounter every single day. And you know what's crazy is that XRP was actually solving the problem. Here, I have that John Deaton posted. After Coinbase listed XRP in late February 2019, MoneyGram filed a notice with the SEC. And look at what it said. This agreement will enable MoneyGram to utilize XRP's XRapid, also known as XRP's on-demand liquidity, and foreign exchange settlement as part of the MoneyGram's cross-border payment process. Ladies and gentlemen, if XRP itself was an illegal security the way the SEC now claims, why would the SEC allow this MoneyGram partnership 18 months before Jay Clayton dropped a lawsuit on his last day in office at the SEC, and the very next day after a meeting with Gary Gensler? Oh man. The reason I'm bringing this up is because it adds context to Stellar XLM's partner, MoneyGram, obtaining a major award by Newsweek. MoneyGram has been named the most trustworthy company by Newsweek. MoneyGram as a business was failing before their Ripple partnership. Then Ripple came in. They started using XRP, building that utility. MoneyGram stock exploded. Their business grew. Then the lawsuit was slapped on Ripple. MoneyGram and Ripple had to terminate their partnership. But because XLM has the same use case as XRP, it just stepped in and filled XRP's role. And this, my friends, is why I'm so heated. We have right here the evidence that XRP was very useful. We have the evidence. We have the use cases. We have the solution to multi-trillion-dollar problems. And then a lawsuit was slapped to try and prevent us from going full-blown adoption. And not only that, but in Ripple's own products, it's not even listing XRP. The Ripple's Liquidity Hub has been a point of controversy over the past 2 days in the XRP community, as Ripple is not listing XRP. But it's simply because there's no legal clarity for XRP yet, which I completely understand. What you guys all need to understand though is, this is not a big deal. We have to push forward through the legal process first. And then you best believe XRP will be listed in short order after this case gives it clarity. But for right now, what you need to recognize is Ripple and XRP have been in the forefront of innovation. They've been in the forefront of regulation. They've built literal solutions to multi-trillion-dollar problems. And yet again, David Schwartz is in another company known as PolySign to solve the next biggest problem when it comes to the crypto industry. He created XRP to solve the cross-border payments problem. And he's a part of PolySign to help solve the custody problem. And here, in this clip, it depicts exactly how PolySign is aiming to do that.
Ideally, you do exactly this. So you find a custodian that will hold your assets, and then you will find somebody else that will lend against those assets, because loans against your assets are not taxable. And that's what the wealthiest people in the world do with their private equity and all of their other resources. They will acquire assets and then take loans against them to live their lifestyle or invest in other things. So you don't experience any capital gains tax with that. So you'll be able to park it. And this is speculation, but based on the conversations I've had, makes sense. You'll park it with PolySign. They will custody the assets for you. And then you would go to Goldman Sachs or Fidelity or Merrill Lynch or one of these other financial institutions. And then they will issue the line of credit against it that you'll be able to draw down at a low interest rate.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's extremely important. And I hope every single one of you heard that. PolySign could be the custodian of choice for the trillion-dollar institutions and the biggest companies on the planet. I hope you understand that. The crypto industry needs trusted institutions. Look at what happened with FTX. Where was the trusted custodian? There was none. And that's why Sam Bankman-Fried and Alameda were able to get away with what they did for so long. That won't happen again with PolySign. I could promise you that. Now let me make something else clear. That was a great insight into a secret that the 1% use in order to preserve their wealth. Take loans against assets to prevent the selling of those assets to make sure you're not causing a taxable event. You maintain ownership and you don't pay taxes. That is the secret of the 1%. And I hope all of you got filled in on that one. Now guys, to cap off this video for today, I want all of your confidence to be highly intact when it comes to XRP. As Stephen Whitty, the co-founder and COO of Exchange, which will be using XRP for its carbon credit solution under the United Nations, is speaking on blockchains empowering green regional developments and how Bitcoin was mentioned to be the worst for the environment. Because of BTC, that's why we chose to build this on the XRP ledger. And like Sammy was mentioning, Bitcoin is the biggest loser out there, but there are alternatives. You see guys, out of every crypto on the planet, XRP continues to have the highest level connections and be spoken about the most highly when it comes to these carbon credit solutions and environmental protection. The world is heading in this direction, and whether it's the IMF or the UN or even Christine Lagarde, nobody ever says Bitcoin is the chosen one. But time and time again, those very same people mention XRP as excellent. You have to own the digital assets that the 1% know are going to be used. Now I want you all to listen to this clip and know that XRP will be used. We will become the new 1% through this digital asset. And I want you all to have that confidence heading towards the finish line. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
So especially what we are doing now with the Interwork Alliance, and that we are basically like building a solution according to the standards set by Interwork, and that we collaborate with each other to set standards and have blockchain technology as like an audit accounting tool. That's the most, blockchain has the most added value as an accounting tool, basically, for us as well. It provides transparency in the market, and that's why we're utilizing that technology in our solutions as well, because it brings transparency to the market, basically.
Ironically, and certainly in some circles, has a huge degree of mistrust as a technology. I mean, I'm still so surprised. Again, COP26, the only mention of blockchain as a innovative solution in sustainability was as the worst for the environment and the least clean. What are your thoughts on that?
Because of the Bitcoin. Yeah.
Why were you so surprised?
Bitcoin.
That's why we chosen to work build this on the XRP ledger instead. So we looked at the right way to issue and implement the token taxonomy framework on a carbon neutral blockchain. So basically, it all depends on which protocol you prefer, and especially what Sammy was mentioning. Bitcoin is the biggest polluter out there, but there are alternatives. So
why do I hold XRP? Because Ripple's the chosen one to lead the new global digital payment system, and they use XRP. In 2013, the Federal Reserve began looking for faster payments options. 2 years later, an action plan was born and a federal payments task force was created. It included one company focused on crypto, Ripple. In 2014, the World Bank and Better Than Cash Alliance, which includes the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative, and the governments of 32 countries, put out a report called The Opportunities of Digitizing Payments. 1 year later, the Better Than Cash Alliance featured one crypto company on their website, Ripple. Today, Better Than Cash Alliance and all other UN initiatives are focused on a single agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. You can see the SDGs logo on Bill Gates' lapel, world-leading companies, the Better Than Cash Alliance website, and on the UN's official exchange, Exchange. What crypto is Exchange officially utilizing for their carbon credit solution? XRP. The world will move to a new international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions by 2025 called ISO 20022. Who was the first ISO 20022 member focused on distributed ledger technology? Ripple. Who's partnered with over 300 financial institutions including Bank of America, American Express, PNC, Santander, SBI, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of England, India, Singapore, Scotland, Australia, and Indonesia, the largest banks in Japan, Canada, Egypt, the Middle East, United Arab Emirates, Thailand, Morocco, Bhutan, South Korea, Brazil, and Latin America? Ripple. Who is a former employee overseeing the Federal Reserve? Ripple. A former employee overseeing the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock's digital asset division? Ripple. Leading Australia's CBDC effort? Ripple. Who hired a former Treasury of the United States? Ripple. 2 former Federal Reserve attorneys to their board? Ripple. 2 former Clinton and Obama advisors? Former Minister of Defense and Economics of Germany? Former business director at Swift? Former Swift board member? Former CFO of PayPal? Former head of the DTCC? Former chief business officer at Uber? Former VP of Amazon and former SEC chair on their legal team? Ripple. Who's a member of the Digital Pound Foundation, Digital Dollar Project, Digital Euro Association, Mojaloop, IMF's high-level advisory board on fintech, Hyperledger Blockchain Consortium, Open Payments Coalition, Faster Payments Council, Global Payments Steering Group, Cross-Border Working Group, International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications, Crypto Climate Accord, University Blockchain Initiative, World Wide Web Consortium, and a featured partner of the World Economic Forum with 3 members of their team directly listed on the WF website? Ripple. Now, does Ripple and XRP sound like they're going to disappear, or do they sound like they're part of a much bigger plan? You decide.